right, Dolph Ziggler is tripping, Rey Mysterio is crying, the boss is back, and the King of the Ring tournament has been announced. It's the Monday Night Raw After Show live from Toronto, or we're right here, Studio 1 in AfterBuzz TV, and it starts right now. Let's go!
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Waiting for that beat drop. Opening for Neo and Drake at the same time. Mack what up? Photogenic. You know what I'm talking about. Yo, we're here live in the studio AfterBuzz TV, the Monday Live After Show. I'm Flobo Boyce, Lobito. So glad to be here. And you're part of live in second screen, Monday Night Raw, 1 day removed from SummerSlam, the biggest party of the summer. Before we get to everything, all the announcements today, let's introduce our panel. On the far left, this guy killed it last night. Got so many comments, I disagree with what he thought. Give it up for Jack Farmer.
Hey, I am so glad to be here. I've gotten to work with so many of the amazing hosts here for the wrestling shows, and I'm finally getting to sit right next to the GOAT himself, Evan. I'm pumped to be here.
Listen, this guy is a host. He's an actor. He's a red carpet person. He is a musician. He is a rapper. He is a model. And I tell you what, he is a Coco Cena American chocolate sweetheart. Get up and have a seat, Mack. What's up?
That was the greatest intro of all time. Model, hell no. Listen, the Lord has not blessed me with those looks, man.
With them jeans, baby.
I'm that dude. I'm like, listen, I'm close to, listen, the funny thing about life is, so they say 10. Are you a 10, right?
Yeah.
People don't realize, 10 is the greatest, most attractive person you've ever seen in your life.
So you're 10.
I always get baffled by how many people think they have dated a 10, are a 10,
right,
slept with a 10.
Right.
I'm comfortable saying I'm a nice 5. See, because people think 5 is bad. No, 10 is the hottest specimen on the planet.
Right.
So 5 ain't that bad.
That's right in the middle.
5 is right in the middle.
If you like a 5.5, that's not bad.
If
Jack,
you flip a
what say
coin,
you?
you are.
Yeah, what say you? Because if one night she might do something, another night she might not. I might get her one night, might not. She might change her mind. Yeah. What do you think you are, Jack? Comfortable? What are you a comfortable what on the 10 scale?
I'm a humble guy, so I say like 12, 13.
He's a 12, man. That is attractiveness.
Yeah, I guess
I don't got that chiseled jaw.
Off the charts. For those of you in the chat, you guys can interact. Follow Evan T. Mack at Evan T. Mack on Instagram and tell us in the chat if he's a 10 or 12 or 47 or 55, 11. Yo, a lot of things happened tonight. Just want to quick thoughts though about yesterday's show, SummerSlam. Evan, you saw it live. You saw it while it was streaming. What do you guys think?
It's SummerSlam, man. It's the hottest event in the summer. I call it Diet WrestleMania. You know what I mean? I
don't know if I accept this.
You know, because I know that's your joint. That's your joint, no, because it's not. But fam, that's not the thing about it is Diet Coke's pretty good. It's better for you.
I'm a Coke Zero guy.
It's less Coke Zero, less calories.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Kind of tasty, but it's an acquired taste. It's a different taste. Not everyone drinks Diet Coke or Coke Zero.
That's true.
So that's why it's Diet. That's why it's Diet WrestleMania.
All right.
It's not a diss. It's not a diss.
I'll accept it.
I think the match of the night, besides Kofi and Orton, I think the match of the night was Goldberg and
Ziggler getting those three.
That was incredible, man.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired of you people acting. Listen,
you people.
I need Goldberg to sit people down in a little semicircle, like back in the day, like Duck Deuce. Right. I need everybody to sit down in a little circle, and he needs to do a tutorial on how to spear somebody. Because all you other people out there with your little weak ass spears, that dude is 75 years old. That's how you spear.
I think it's 51.
Do you see that spear?
I'm so glad you're sitting next to me right now, because I've been saying I love Goldberg, period.
Man.
He is the only guy that's done a spear
properly.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Everyone else, it
drives me crazy.
Spear. I hated the
Charlotte
Flair.
Because I'm an equal opportunist. Listen, Charlotte Flair, your spear's poop too.
Wow.
That was it.
Before I go on, I just want to say we got
Spear is amazing.
We got a running tab of Evan's rating. Eric Clark says you're a 10.
Yeah.
You says you're a solid 8.76.
I take that.
Marie says you're a 10 as well.
I take that.
I thought SummerSlam was great.
I'm a healthy 5, brother.
I'm a healthy 5.
like for real. But it's great. No, it's great, man. It was fun though.
Yeah, I loved it.
It was fun, man. Like I said, what do you want? What do you want out of this? It's different. Like I do like title changes, but I do get why people retain though. I like because it's just in the kid in me likes title changes. The kid in me likes, I just love that. But at the same time, I don't want it to be at Kofi's expense. He's deserved a solid run. He's only won in April.
Right.
People that already, like, shout out to my boy Jim Alexander. He's always like, it's already over. I go, guys, just break things down. He won in April.
Right.
May, June, July, August. 4 months, guys. Like, that is not that long. Because so 4 months next to 11 years.
Yeah, Kobe's not getting 12 reigns. You know that.
He's
not getting 12 reigns.
So this could possibly be it for his career.
Right.
I actually thought his match with Randy Orton ended perfectly.
Yeah, and everyone was like, what the hell? Toronto did not like it at all. Because they wanted a result. But I think you're right. It's tough to do that.
Yes.
And they did it.
Yes, because I want to see more Randy Orton Kofi, but I didn't want to see a title change.
No.
But I didn't want to see Randy Orton just lose. So I thought that was perfect because they can continue it.
They thought just like you did.
Yes.
They thought like you, because they believe this 11 years, this has more than just one match. It deserves more than one match.
100%.
Night of Champions, probably?
Yeah, Clash of Champions. It's 5 weeks away. There's time to build a whole other program if need be.
Yeah.
AJ saying it says Rhino has the best spear goer.
Out of his mind.
It says Rhino's greater than Goldberg, greater than everyone.
Out of his mind.
I'm just saying.
Rhino got a cult following, man.
I'm just saying.
He's nice and trashy.
In his prime, he was great.
He's great. That guy, but the Gore is a little different. He would grab them and run with them.
Yes.
But instead of the spear.
Just bounce and just. Oh my God.
It's on the rock bottom. It's the bookend. I get it, man. I totally get it.
Rock bottom is more. It's just a little more pretty.
Right.
A little more pretty.
Rock bottom.
So we're still in
100%.
Toronto for Monday Night Raw. Big show. A lot of things are happening left and right. But the biggest announcement, if anything, is the King of the Ring tournament is returning next week. We're not sure if it's going to be one show or multiple shows or a series of shows, but 16 people have been announced. I want to go real quick to see Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Ali, Kevin Owens, Chad Gable, Andrade, Shelton.
Don't gloss over. That's your boy.
Yeah, Chad Gable's there. Andrade, Shelton Benjamin, Sami Zayn, Cedric Alexander,
Shelton Benjamin,
Baron Corbin, Apollo Crews, Buddy Murphy, Cesaro, Elias, Samoa Joe.
Shelton Benjamin?
Shelton Benjamin's in the tournament.
He's a man, though. I'm telling you, he's a grown man.
He's the same size as Lashley. I found that out last
People
month.
Don't know.
And it blew my mind how big he was.
God, I'm telling you, when I was backstage, he hit the corner. I was like, oh, hell no.
No, seriously, guys, Wikipedia that stuff. He's the same height and weight as Bobby Lashley.
This dude is a monster, bro. I'm telling you, he's been, very, very misused in his career. But
I thought he could have been when he was going, he was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And obviously it didn't work out, but
I always give him credit for still taking the greatest sweet chin music in the history of wrestling.
Yeah, the Gold Rush tournament.
Dear mother of God. He's still in the ring right now.
I still say that clip when I have a bad day. I'm like,
Jim Ross like, good God almighty.
I've never seen JR and Lawler sell and move that hard.
Because it's the greatest sweet chin of all time.
When you watch wrestling your whole life and a move makes you go,
so good.
For those guys who don't talk about, if you YouTube the clip,
Please
Shawn Michaels kills Shelton Benjamin with the quotes.
If you've already seen it, still look it up.
The greatest sweet chin music of all time. Shout out to Shelton Benjamin for taking that bump.
Well, exactly.
To against a legend.
Yeah.
Oh, that was such a good match.
It was great. Well, okay, so the idea of King of the Ring, to me, it was the Big Five. When it was the Big Five pay-per-view, it was actually one of my favorites that got cut. So I'm glad it's back. I just want to see your thoughts about the tournament. It's timing, the prospects of winning it, just overall thoughts. Chat.
I love tournaments. I love them because it's such a simple way to make throwaway matches mean something important. And I like anything with eliminations, like where you start with a lot of people and it slowly. I like the Rumble. I like Survivor Series.
Absolutely.
I like anything where you start with a lot of people and you slowly see them whittle down to one person, and
I
so
like it too.
I'm super pumped about it.
You're right, because it's glorified, regular like house show matches, but now you put him as King of the Ring. Now there's stipulation because that King of the Ring is is prestigious. It is, it's everyone keeps going back to that. That did launch Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold kind of launched himself though, because him winning and just walking off stage, it wouldn't have been the same. That Austin 316 thing is what launched it. We all know he took the reins, but King of the Ring still was the platform. Though.
Yeah, I practiced a little like half point he did. That'll let get you anywhere, Don't be a Bible.
But the thing is, you talk about your Bibles and you're calling you a 316. Austin 316 says, "Oh, you're all right."
And it's like, "Oh, come on, save this."
Classic.
But here's the thing: I love the idea. I agree with you 100%. But the counterpoint is this: the King of the Ring winners in the later years have not lived up to the hype. You can talk about guys like Barrett, King Booker, yeah, but he's getting the last one. Sheamus didn't really need it, but even though he became it, do you think and seeing this field now, do you think they're going to give that person the rocket?
If Drew McIntyre wins and they keep going with him,
you think Drew McIntyre is going to be your pick? Is he your horse?
Absolutely not, because he's been getting his face smashed in by people.
Okay.
Well, Cedric Alexander's in the tournament, so you can't assume anything with
King Alexander. Alexander.
But
he could win that thing.
Chad Gable could win that thing.
As far as the tournament goes, and as a viewer of wrestling, I'm a big live in the moment fan. So whether or not it pays off for now, I'm happy.
Why not? Yeah, exactly.
it's easy to get pessimistic about like, oh, this guy's gonna win and it's gonna be lame.
But I don't know who's gonna win. And then you're right. I like tournaments. I like the eliminate. I like to see that bracket and people move down and that final. I'm excited, man.
And then the March Madness thing.
I love that bracketology.
Yeah.
Chat. What say you? Chat. Who wins?
I remember it was the King of Ring 2000 where I was like going fast with Bull Buchanan. And when he didn't win, I was like, are you kidding me?
There you go. See, there you go.
I was robbing too. So I'm excited to see next week. Cesaro's my pick, but that's whole prediction. We'll use that later. I think he's ready for a real push.
I agree.
He seems like a King of the Ring winner. That he does. It seems like the kind of person they would put there.
I agree.
Yeah. So
good call.
The OC, for example, came out today. They're a unit now. They're all draped in red. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting look.
Got the face paint on Gallows or whatever. They're in the main event against Seth Rollins. AJ versus Seth Rollins with the OC ringside, right? So we know it's going to be broken up. DQ. We got Braun, Ricochet coming out, and Braun is that stare down. Prospects on Braun being back into the fold, his return, and where does he go from here?
Yeah, it's we'll see, because I don't know. Is Seth Rollins' ribs broken? Is they not broken? Yeah, just like, listen, guys, broken ribs is a pretty serious thing. Now listen, y'all trying to build him up as a Terminator, y'all need to let me know.
Right.
If Seth Rollins is the Terminator, if he's T1000, let me know. Shout out to T1000, T2, that joint's fire. That joint's fire. Y'all know T2's fire.
Shout out to the future.
Shout out to the future, man. Listen. Shout out to Skynet. Listen. I be rolling with Skynet. I'm like, listen, y'all, I ain't got nothing to do with this.
He's sold out.
I'm rolling with the machines. No, bro, I ain't got no problem. You say T1000?
I'm a front runner, yes.
Are you kidding me? Bro, I'm like, listen, man, I told y'all these machines go take over. But no, listen, so like, I listen, y'all, because he can't, like, the thing about it is now, it's tough for me to think Braun can beat him now since he can beat Brock and so on and so forth. Like, I don't know how they're going to do that, but I was watching you guys last night, and it's, I like the Braun idea. If he's finally back in the fold, I know you guys.
That was your idea, actually, Jack.
Yeah,
back Braun.
Right. Yeah, I heard you last night say that. It threw him in the back burner a little bit for whatever reasons. I read a couple different things. I read that Vince McMahon blamed him for the ratings drop when they were doing the push for him. I read about that, and I read that in like several different places, and it seemed like that. You're like, I blame you for the reason why no one watched us. You know, that probably wasn't the reason why. Think different things happened, different things were going on, different events were happening. Things happen, man. You don't always keep up consistent numbers, but it's just good to see him back there. Who knows what'll happen? I don't know why the hell Ricochet's there. He got the brakes beat off him last night.
Yeah,
he took the L last night. Light skinned Nightwing.
Really, he's actually lighter. Nightwing's lighter than Ricochet. He's
dark skinned Nightwing. Damn it.
To me, the match was great. The chat is saying that's possibly that Braun may be in the United States title division against AJ. Do you want to see him there?
No.
Okay.
What about you?
I mean, I feel like either way, he's just kind of a buffer for the next thing.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I don't think he's going to have a real long feud either way.
That's fair.
And so if it's going to help put over AJ, great. If it's going to help put over Seth Rollins, great.
That's fair. That's a good way of thinking about it.
But before we move on, Jackie, do me a favor and cut the promo. Tell the world how they can follow this AfterBuzz show and other AfterBuzz shows.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, everyone, for making us the ESPN of TV talk. And as you know, you guys all watch the show. We definitely want you to like, comment, subscribe. I personally am only here because you guys put in hashtag #BringBackJack over and over again. So all your likes, all your comments, all your subscribes, it really does make a big difference for us. So please take the time, if you're watching this now, just click that like button. It doesn't take a second.
No, I'm going to answer your question. The real YT Jim is not being replaced, man. Listen, he's getting repackaged. There's a little Bray Wyatt situation going on.
Music.
Hopefully he comes out with the Jim Funhouse, man. He comes out a little bit lighter, a little bit softer. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just a little bit nicer.
Right.
But yeah, everything's fine. He's back home in Chicago. He's doing his thing, eating his Polish sausages. Recharge. He does.
I mean, I know he's Polish,
but he's eating stuff. He eats the sausages.
I eat Polish sausages too.
Shout out to Haywood Wall, Michael, Marie, Star, Drew. What's good?
Yeah, we're all good in the hood. So, speaking of returns, we had Braun before, and Sasha Banks, the boss herself, returns. During Natalia's promo, it looked like she was going to semi-retire, at least step away from the ring. Sasha comes back with a smile on her face, rips off her purple wave, and boom! There it is. She comes in, she turned heel. You guys are so excited to have Sasha Banks back. Let's start with you, Evan. Thoughts?
Nah, bro.
What do you mean, bro?
Listen, I'm gonna put this out there once and for all. I want everybody to be very clear on this.
Clip this out, guys.
There ain't no way in hell I'm ever going to like Sasha Banks ever.
Ever?
Personal standpoint.
There's nothing she can do.
Absolutely not.
Wow.
She can walk into the studio right now and hand me $1 million, and I'd be like, I appreciate you, don't like you.
Well, yeah, I appreciate $1 million too.
And I'm gonna tell you, I think she's still sloppy. She hurts too many wrestlers. She's sloppy.
Yeah.
She is sloppy. Plus. This sets a bad precedent. Jack will expand on this a little bit more because he thought, just like I thought, it sets a bad precedent. You don't get your way, you pout, you come back, and you get into the title picture. It sets a bad precedent, man, for all those ladies in the back or all those wrestlers in the back that think, you know what? I ain't getting my way. I'm gonna take my ball and go home. And wait a minute, now I'm gonna get everything I want. Man, when I was growing up, man, I pouted my dad. Go ahead, pout. But can I get what I want now? I'm like, no.
Right.
I'm like, oh damn.
Yeah.
So that's how I was taught. That's how I was raised.
So basically, you're saying Mack should work for WWE.
Oh yeah. Okay. Because he'd be like, oh boo boo, you go ahead and stay over there. You stay over there, boo boo.
Gotcha.
With the purple wig, blue wig, purple wig, stay over there.
We'll get your new Sasha Banks. Yeah. Better Sasha Banks.
Yeah, if I wasn't happy with where I was at right now, I would immediately say I'm staying home until I get what I want.
I'm gonna stay home.
And it's basically telling everyone, like the Luke Harpers and everyone else that's saying I don't want to do anything until I get what I want.
Yeah.
That they're right and they should do it. And I don't think anyone. I mean, I know Sasha Banks has her fans, so
of course she does.
Fair enough for her, but I don't think her being there changes anything really that big on the show.
Absolutely not.
You know what? I'm inclined to agree with you, but just here's a counterpoint. So you have this women's division on Raw.
Correct.
We talked about how they really need some bolstering now. You have a name that people know and recognize from the last wave of Women Evolution. She comes out and she attacks someone who was already injured, drawing out Becky Lynch to give her some sort of a personal vendetta or feud. This is not what we want on paper. Sasha Banks aside, it's not what we want. Having someone to challenge Becky Lynch that looks like it's about the same size physically, can do the same moves on paper. Is that what we want?
I know I agree with what you're saying. I'm not saying you're wrong about that point. I could be in the minorities. I just don't think Sasha Banks is that good a wrestler.
Sure.
I just don't.
I don't think Alexa Bliss is that good either.
There you go.
I'm
not afraid to say that. This ain't about a woman, man. I don't care what you are, man. An alien, it doesn't matter. I'm talking from a wrestling standpoint. I don't think Sasha Banks is as good as people think she is, or they perceive her to be, wrestling wise. Right. If she was, she wouldn't botch so many moves and hurt so many people and hurt herself a lot of the times. She hurts herself sometimes. Because I just think we go a little too far with like Sasha Banks. I don't know where this happened. Where did it happen where they anointed her? Because she's like, she related to Snoop Dogg? Is that what this is? No. Y'all let me know.
No, if you want. Oh, sorry, Jack.
I was always lukewarm on her, but I hate whenever people get a push or something for some backstage reason.
Yeah.
If she's been on TV and she's been putting on great matches and things, cool. But if it's just for a contractual reason or because there's a sponsor that likes them or anything like that, I hate that. Like I hate, and this is somewhat different, but I hate that we're probably going to see huge Becky Lynch, Roman Reigns pushes through October because they're on the cover of the video game. Anything that's not wrestling related causing a push just bugs me.
Well, there's something to be said, last time word on Sasha, that she had a lot of goodwill built up from her NXT days because she was a two-dimensional, three-dimensional character. The boss, when she was a heel, was somebody that was a little bit privileged. In a time where women wrestlers on NXT didn't have that personality or character, as far as her being sloppy, I'm not really sure about that. But the idea is that if you say Sasha Banks is back, she's already trending. It's not like someone else coming back.
Good for her. I don't ever mind being in the minority, bro. I am a minority, so I just stay there. I just stay in my place.
They're not the same.
I know they're not. I know that was a joke, bro. You ain't the only one that can do comedy, bro.
True. You are tense. You must be a funny dude, right? Shout out to Skynet.
I can do it. Yo, Skynet gotta get some love on this show. Damn it. I'm a minority and I'll be in the minority.
Yo, I hear you.
They ain't mutually exclusive.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Chat, what's
I'm trying to do a Flobo joke, man.
I love it. I was trying to give you some fun. All right, so
Skynet.
What I thought the match was the night that you disagree with Evan was Cedric Alexander on Drew McIntyre. I thought this match was amazing.
It was a match of the night.
It was a match of the night.
Yes.
You came in with a giant black by black. I just mean the actual color.
See how you go.
Saying that I don't know why Drew McIntyre and Cedric Alexander went as long as it did because peanut-shaped heads should have lost in 2 seconds. I'm putting you to task, man. What's up?
The two things can be true, man. That was the match of the night. I'm a firm believer in two things can be true, man. That was the match of the night. However, what in the hell? You can't put Cedric Alexander away.
He did. That Claymore was sick, though.
Bro, see, that's how they get you, man. That's how they get you. But over that Claymore, you damn right. He kicked him. He kicked him through the ceiling. Right. He's gonna fall into this building right now. That was the most amazing Claymore of all time.
Yeah.
But damn it.
Yeah.
I'm just worried about. This is about me worried about Drew McIntyre. I'm just worried about is this just putting on a cool match with Ced because it makes Cedric look amazing? Because Cedric can go though. Y'all present Cedric to me like I don't know who's going on. That's y'all. Right. Y'all had this guy. He's been on your roster. You guys are finally realizing he can wrestle. He's always been like that. Yeah. Every show I see him at, every house show I seen him at, because y'all don't put him on TV. True. He is tearing the doors down. Yeah. But damn it, what does that mean for Drew? That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. I think with matches like this, the only thing you will remember 2 weeks from now is how it ended when we were seeing the highlight of that Claymore, right. Which makes McIntyre look great.
It's a fair point.
But also, this is one of those things where we become short-sighted as fans. We're always like, how come they didn't build up all these other people? Well, this is how you build them up. You
I agree with that.
Stand toe-to-toe with McIntyre, and now McIntyre hopefully moves on to something
That's what I'm saying. Because if you're right about that, then that's fine. But if not, then it should have been somebody else that he has a stepping stone against. Because Drew's, put like this, if Drew wasn't such a punching bag these past months, and losing to Roman Reigns very clean, losing to people very clean, and then like not really like having a dominant run, it'd be different, you know. And then Ced came out and like it'd been really cool. Let's say he had a strong run and Ced got the roll up. I'd be a little bit different about it. But I just wish it was somebody else because Drew's been down a little bit, man. He's been down a little bit, right? It's not like he's been dominating.
So if Cedric won that match tonight, for example, would that be even a worse result, or is it all the same to you at this point?
I think he had the same at this point because he already got the dub against him. People could call roll up cheap all they want. It's a dub, man.
Right.
If you ask me if I got to roll up against like Dwayne Johnson, man, I take it.
Right. Of course.
You know, like put it like this: did the 1, 2, 3 key pin help him or hurt him? It launched him, right?
Right. It did.
That was a glorified little snow. Like he was a cheap. Like that launched his career.
Sure.
I take a roll up, bro.
Sure. Yeah. Well, 90s references, I love it.
I know, man. 1, 2, 3.
I think that's just the base.
What was his name before 1, 2, 3 key? What was it?
He was the kid, wasn't he?
Yeah. Was it?
Kid, Lightning Kid?
Yeah, something like that. Shout out to Bosa now.
Yeah. Shout out to
Skynet. Yeah.
Sean Waldman. This show is also on the AfterBuzz Network. So Jack, the thing is about Drew McIntyre. I know we talked about this on the show how, and I quote Jim, he's hot all the time. If you're Drew McIntyre and you're pretty much done with Cedric Alexander, and assuming the King of the Ring tournament doesn't have him in his plans, where would you put Drew McIntyre at this point?
Right now, I like Drew McIntyre. I'd love to see him get pushed to the main event, but as alluded to, he's been beat up for a while. I think you need to give him a mid-card feud that he can rebuild himself with.
Why not?
Something, ideally someone that isn't maybe super a big, I would love to see him maybe beat The Miz in a short-term feud just to build himself back up.
Yeah.
Because I think if you were to put him against like Seth Rollins now, I'd never believe it.
No, hell no. Right. Not after he beat Brock with broken ribs or whatever.
Yeah.
No, hell no. Yeah. But you're right about that. Like I said, but with King of the Ring would help him. Like I said, this is about Drew McIntyre. It's not about Cedric Alexander. I know what he can do, guys. I ain't late to the party on this. WWE's late to the party on this. That's their guy.
Yeah.
You guys just started pushing him. Now you're like, let me throw against Drew McIntyre.
Still can't buy a shirt.
You know
I've been trying to buy a shirt for Cedric for the past 2 years.
Yeah, that dude is an unbelievable talent that you guys put on 205 Live. You put him there.
That's true. And he looks cool. His tight stuff.
Yeah, man. He looks awesome, man.
Yeah. Shout out to Evangelina. It was like the crowd was fickle. Today's crowd was better than yesterday, which I agree in spades. And it was very, very apparent with this segment here where Samoa Joe was a face for 8 minutes today. He turned face and turned right back heel to beat Sami Zayn. Crowd loved it, ate it up. Jack, thoughts on Samoa Joe, how he was able to maneuver?
That's just a testament just how great Samoa Joe is. The fact that he can be a super heel, turn face for 20 minutes, and then turn right back heel without it feeling out of character in any way is just how good he is on the mic. I mean, anyone who's watched this AfterBuzz show knows that everyone's a big fan of Samoa Joe here. I think he's great. He's another guy, though, like a Drew McIntyre, that he needs to start getting some wins back. I think he's a victim of his own talent because he's so good at staying over. It's easy to just say, "Oh, we'll have him lose this time."
And that's what I don't like. That's a great point. That's my biggest problem with him. Oh, he doesn't need to win. He's over. I'm like, that's not true, man.
Yeah. Everyone loves a winner, though.
You know, can he win? No, I don't care if he's over. He's over based on his own mic ability.
Right.
It's like he's not over just because of TNA. With all due respect, half the crowd don't watch TNA.
No.
We got to stop acting like everybody watches what we watch. Half of the crowd that comes to these shows don't watch TNA.
And TNA was a long time ago.
ago.
Sami Zayn said himself he was in WWE 3 years.
Samoa Joe is over because he's just great, man.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are absolutely right. Like, I know a lot of lifelong Mets fans, and when we were last in division, no one was going to games. You win 13 out of 15, these show up. Yeah, we're still lifelong fans. We're showing up and participating.
Right.
So the thing is about Joe getting the wins, would it have been interesting if he would have stayed face, or do you think he still has some cash it as a heel? Do you think that
he's such a great heel, though,
Yeah.
But it's not his fault that he's like, because technically, they called Austin a babyface, but did he do babyface things though?
No.
Man, that dude was a heel, man. He's like what I called it. He's like, to me, was like the heel babyface. It was like unprecedented, man. Like what he did, because he was just so over as a bad guy. This dude is middle finger beating the brakes on people, beating people in steel chairs, but he was over. Like, it's not Samoa Joe's fault that he's just charismatic as a heel. Like, I don't even. They chant Joe. It's just a good chant. It's an easy chant when he comes out. He insulted the crowd. They played his music. They were still chanting Joe.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
what can
exactly.
you do?
The Stone Cold comparison is great because, I think whether you boo or cheer Samoa Joe is really just who he's beating up. If he went out there and was still exact same person, it was like, I hate all you fans, but I'm going to go choke out Shane McMahon, people would go nuts for him.
They would.
I would like to see him be more aligned as a face right now, just because I feel like there's more opportunity for him.
So to piggyback on what you're saying, so who could he choke out that the fans would boo? That, you know what I mean? They'd be like, oh, hell no, Samoa Joe, you can't do that. So who's untouchable? Who would make them be like, this is unacceptable?
Becky Lynch.
Yeah, it would have to be Becky. Because even Roman, it would be like, okay, cool.
So you have to be somebody like Becky, huh?
Do you think that, the last question about Samoa Joe as a face, because it lasted literally 5 minutes today, do you think that Samoa Joe can be that anti-authority badass face better or worse than Kevin Owens?
Better.
Absolutely better?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I love Kevin Owens.
So do I.
Yeah, I really felt like the track would have been the same thing if he was face. When he was turning face, I was writing it down, and then, I guess he's back to being himself. He's about himself, guys. Also, who's about himself is Elias, after being interrupted by Ricochet, ends up being the newest, latest, greatest 24/7 champion. Jack Farmer, is this the second chapter we've been asking for?
Of the
24/7 championship?
No. I think we're going to keep thinking it is, and R-Truth's going to keep winning it back.
Yeah.
Until it's gotten until people quit saying they like it, and until we've moved on from it, and then they'll say, okay, now it's time to do something new.
Everybody always calls me crazy in the chat or across the world.
They call you a 10 in the chat, actually.
Shout out to the chat. They call me shout out to Skynet once
All
again.
the 10s are crazy.
No, I'm just saying they always call me crazy. It's like, oh, but it's obvious this is a gimmick. It's obvious this is a gimmick title. No, they made it a gimmick title.
Yeah.
Don't tell me it's obvious it's a gimmick title. No, they made it a gimmick title. They could have made it anything they wanted.
A dollar has a value because you save its value.
Thank you very much. You guys made it what it was. And I still go back to, if they would have had somebody badass, a Drew McIntyre or whoever, Samoa Joe come in the ring and say, I will not be losing this title. I dare you to come out here and stop me.
I'm glad you said that. But here's my question then. Do you think that could be used for Elias' rebuilding of his character? Can Elias be that guy?
If they take this idea that I think they should do, and he doesn't lose, I'm talking about come out here. I dare y'all to come out here. And he keeps beating people, and that's how you legitimize a title. Don't tell me it's a gimmick and it's corny. No, they made it a sideshow.
Right.
They've made it a joke. Just like a certain wrestler, but for goodness sakes, Kane was Isaac Yankem.
Right.
Now, he is so far away from Isaac Yankem, because you know why? Because they put that red mask on him and they built a proper storyline, and he was going against the dead man, and he beat the hell out of people for 10 years.
Right.
Don't tell me you can that title is a gimmick and I'm supposed to just accept that. You can make it whatever you want. Kane was a damn weird dentist.
It actually does play into what if we're taking a positive outlook on it. For years now, Elias has sat in the ring and someone's come out and beat him. And if if he said, now as the champion, I'm waiting for you. Come get me.
Oh, come on.
And
that'd be great.
And then maybe someone comes out like, fine, I'm going to come get the title, and he just whacks him with the guitar.
Right. But we sat here and said the guitar is his gimmick and it's killing him. Well, how can he be the guy with the guitar? How does that work?
And like I said, this is not about R-Truth. R-Truth is doing the best he can at what they're giving him, and he's a company man. And I love R-Truth. Met him many times. R-Truth is he literally is the truth. Yeah. He's the nicest dude ever. He talks to everybody. He makes time for everybody. He takes every single picture, even if they're trying to pull him away. This ain't about R-Truth. Yeah. This is about that you could even have made R-Truth series with the title.
Sure.
You could do anything you want. You're building the story. It's your belt. Don't tell me it is what it is.
Right.
You can do anything you want.
Right. You don't have to have the guys running backstage and bringing up matches and all that.
I do wish they would start having actual matches with it, though.
Yeah, right?
In the ring, just a real, you can still keep the funny backstage stuff even if you wanted to.
Have some matches.
A legit match would be nice to see.
Why not?
Look backstage or just like in the ring?
I would like, and the backstage matches always look corny to me, but unless it's like set up like the WrestleMania Miz Shane McMahon thing, but
scaffoldings everywhere,
you know, unless it's like really set up. But when they're doing the thing where they're just walking down the hall, holding the back of the head of one of them and like slamming him into a wall, and then you know doing silly stuff like that, I think it's corny quick. But just have it in the ring. It's a wrestling show.
Yeah, the way Elias walked out of Monday Raw, I was like, well, this could be the thing we were saying. Maybe he might be the guy.
I hope so.
But yeah, him literally saying in the ring today, look, man, everyone interrupts me. Who's it going to be this week? Was kind of like, I felt this whole episode of Raw, to its credit, was like, this is what's wrong with it. Sami Zayn saying, oh, something's wrong with this corny. Becky is corny. Elias saying, you know what? Everyone's been interrupting me for years. Corey Graves been like, Sasha Banks is in it for herself. There's a lot of like self-referential things about Raw. So I'm like, man, maybe they know what the problems are and they're trying to work things out. So
I like that.
I hope that Elias becomes that guy. But you're right. It's very possible on Tuesday he gets rolled up by Carmelo and we're just wasting our time.
Elias has been my guy that I've been very like, okay, now it's going to happen. Nope. Okay, now it's gonna happen. No, so I've sold all my stock in Elias. He's gone.
So what a guy I almost sold his stock in Andrade for a while because he was off TV with his own personal problems. But comes back and he beats Rey Mysterio 2 or 3 falls, 2 straight falls in the middle of the ring. Got Rey Mysterio in his own feelings backstage, talking to Charlie, being like, I don't know, I have to provide for my family. For Rey Mysterio, what happens now?
Still overacting, man. Just dial it back a little bit, right? You got a mask on. You don't got to emote that much.
I don't know him.
What's
called indicating?
Bro, yeah, so that's what they call it, bro. You're indicating too much. Bro, your name is Rey Mysterio. What's the mystery?
What's the mystery? Ain't no mystery when you come on. My family, man.
Listen, come on. I know I was gonna laugh at that. Hold on. I lost my point. No, listen, no.
He's emoting a lot.
Rey's an icon, man.
True.
And I don't use that word lightly. People, when I say people's first ballot Hall of Fame, like, you think everyone's first ballot Hall of Fame? No, guys, everybody I say is first ballot is going in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But you guys can we can check the tape when I say it. But the people I say are first ballot, they're going in the Hall. He is an icon. Rey Mysterio has been wrestling since I was in middle school. I'm 35 years old. He's been wrestling since I've been in middle school.
Yeah,
that dude's an icon. So I know he's using. I know he probably is maybe taking. Maybe he really wants. Maybe he's doing the Kurt Angle thing with Baron Corbin. Maybe he's trying to do a solid to Andrade and have him build this reputation on his name because he's Mexican. And maybe that's what's going on here.
Yeah.
I just need him to stop indicating so much.
Sure.
Because Rey doesn't need to win any matches. Rey, not anymore. What is he here for if he's not here to put people over? Rey's legacy is cemented.
He's not winning anything big.
Does he need to? Does he need to?
No, he is. He really is. I agree. First ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I think when you're looking at his impact, not just like, because he was great, but just his impact in everything we see today is off the chart. One of the most impactful, influential people.
That's a great point.
It's very easy to say that about a lot of people, but he has got to be one of the top few people as far as influencing what we're seeing today.
And he's class too, and he's class personified. He's the nicest guy. He's the nicest guy ever, guys. If you ever get a chance to meet Rey Mysterio, no matter where he's at, he has time for every fan. You can't say that about all these wrestlers, man.
True.
Middle of the wherever he has time for his people.
He's too.
Rey's the real deal, man. Like I said, I like the feud because the boy can still go.
Right.
He's still in the best shape of his life. He's in the best shape of his life somehow. You know what I mean? It's just like I don't know. Because Andrade is still a little. I don't know about Andrade still.
I like Andrade. He's one of my.
He was my favorite wrestler at NXT, and then they kind of brought him out. They didn't do him right, and I'm kind of like.
He sees a direction. I feel like with that and his personal problems this year, kind of took him out of rotation.
Well, my big hope is that this gives him a direction, and
I think this is what they're doing. They're trying to do.
Yeah.
With Rey.
Because I love everything about Andrade, but yeah, he is kind of like he comes out. They have every match Andrade has is great. I don't remember the last one that I was like, it was whatever.
I agree.
Yeah, even in that show we don't talk about, Super Showdown.
You can go, man. Yeah, you can go.
Yeah. Here's a random question from the chat. Star Drew asked, "Do you like Ahmed Johnson, Evan?"
It's been a while since I gotta go back. I gotta go back in the what's it called, the network and watch.
Yeah, the Power Plunge. As a kid, I loved him.
Yeah, as a kid,
I hear the stories of him being.
I'm not a kid anymore. You know what I mean? But
Big T from Harlem Heat.
Yeah,
2000.
I'm just not.
Legendary Harlem Heat 2000.
Yeah, as you grow, you change. Back in the day, WrestleMania 9 was my favorite WrestleMania.
Wow,
9. But it's not anymore. You know what I mean?
What's your favorite?
Probably. I don't know. I was at 30.
I was at 26.
30 was bananas, just because it was the moment when DB won, and Bray came out.
New Orleans.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was just the setting was amazing. New Orleans, I've never been to New Orleans, and New Orleans was exceeded my expectations.
Yeah.
And from the whole weekend was amazing. So it's hard for me to say what the best one is. I love the one with 30 was nasty though. But 9 was my favorite because of the venue.
Yeah.
Caesar's Palace. Bobby Heenan coming out. Bobby Heenan coming outside. Like the Caesar's Palace.
Yeah.
Todd Pettengill. Up in the Raptors.
Todd Pettengill.
But Macho Man on commentary.
Yeah.
The crowd chanting USA, even though Bret Hart's Canadian. And then Bobby Heenan goes, he's from Canada, you idiots.
Yeah.
Bobby Heenan.
That is the best commentator of all time.
So good.
Like, so I love 9 just because of so much nonsense. Mean Gene Okerlund with the toga on.
Yeah.
That was
Giant Gonzalez.
Giant Gonzalez versus Undertaker. Lex Luger with the mirror.
That's a weird one, man.
When Doink the Clown did the double vision on Crush,
yeah.
It was 2 Doink the Clowns.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh,
I just
man.
Now that you mention it, it has like almost every cliche wrestling thing ever in one show.
Mr. Perfect, my favorite when I was a kid. Like, that was my favorite. Those all my wrestlers were still when I was a kid. But yeah, and I said your opinions changed, so I don't know if I still like them.
Wrestling can be dangerous to go back and look back.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, this was so great, and then how many atomic drops are they going to do?
Yeah, they don't age well.
Come on, Yokozuna. Come on.
I guess I got lucky. The first WrestleMania I ever saw was WrestleMania 10 with the ladder
match.
Very that was at MSG.
Wow, good for you, man.
So we also have a women's tag team title defense. I'm cracking up because we have these randomly now out of nowhere. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus Kairi Sane and Asuka. You know what? Paige was not there because she made a video saying she's having another neck surgery. So, question I have for you guys with the blank Warriors not winning the match, do you keep them together because Paige's not in the mix, or do you want to keep that division still young and thriving by keeping that team involved?
I think I would prefer to see them singles wrestlers because I feel like the team was forced together anyways just because they're both Japanese and it feels silly to me.
Call them the Kabuki Warriors for goodness sakes.
Yeah, it felt very silly to me. So,
I'm not doing that.
And I like both of those two as singles wrestlers more anyways. I mean, I get having the team just because what other tag teams are there besides the Iconics? You can only have those two go back and forth so many times before.
I want to interject here because I mentioned the fact that I don't like calling the tag team of Kairi Sane and Asuka the Kabuki Warriors. And people were saying that, is it because they're Japanese? There's nothing to do with that. Kabuki is a very, very specific form of theater.
Yes.
And so you're supposed to be an athlete and you're being named for a certain kind of theater.
Yes.
And it's like if I had a breakdance team, that's great, but I can't take you seriously if you're going to rename yourself after interpretive dance.
Especially with that kind of greatness in the ring, though. That kind of legendary Japanese greatness. And the Kabuki where I was like, ugh.
And it's kind of a missed opportunity because you have the Empress of Tomorrow and the Pirate Princess. Okay, Kabuki Warriors. It was just the match was solid. It looks like Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross are here to stay. I like Nikki Cross. It's cool.
Yeah, I think they were didn't know what they were going to do. I think they thought they were going to do the old school. Nikki Cross figures out Alexa Bliss doesn't like her, and they fight and they have a match, one off, da-da-da-da. But then they were like, we might keep them together.
Yeah.
And I think they kind of changed their mind at the last minute, and then let's give them tag team champions. Why not, I guess.
It's a way to protect Alexa Bliss.
You don't like Alexa Bliss that well as far as
you know what,
ring.
man? Yeah, exactly. It's not even that her talent. I think the talent's there. Like you said, you don't even get a ticket to the dance if you're not good. It's just that, to me, watching her matches more and more over the past year, it feels like there's more and more mechanisms in place to protect her, make sure she doesn't do as much, which makes me wonder about a long-term prospect.
Is she okay?
Is she okay? Are the concussions more serious? I hate having to watch a match being like, is this the last one? And that's why it's not enjoyable for me. But
I understand that.
But if she gets the title, I'm not like, wrestling's dead and broken. I don't know. But the fact Nikki Cross gets to be on TV, it's a win-win.
Yeah, why not?
Because I like her as well.
I do too.
I've always thought tag teams are a great way to get people on TV that don't have something.
I agree with that.
So, I mean, what else are they going to do? Let's put them on a tag team.
Why not?
Yeah.
We're going to skip over this match real quick, but No Way Jose and Robert Roode have a match. Robert Roode shows up. His beard is back. I'm wearing the shirt today. I like the fact they're bringing back these undercard guys as part of Raw instead of like the Viking experience having the jobber matches. But it did still seem like they kind of undercut it by saying, guys, Paul Heyman's going to speak. Please watch this match. He's going to have a promo right after this.
That's exactly what that was.
Thoughts on that as far as using undercard talent on Raw as opposed to jobbers and the fact that they kind of hedged their bets?
Yeah, I like Bobby, man. Like I said, I wasn't a TNA guy, so I don't care what he did there.
NXT was great.
I care what you do with NXT, and his run in NXT was amazing. Him having the title was amazing. They ruined him when they brought him up. It's hard to bring people up, but they should have had him instantly in the title match, win a title, have a little run, moving on. Like, they ruined the glorious. You can't be glorious. You can't be the eater of worlds if you take L's.
Right.
Eventually, it's going to wear you out. I don't give a damn what anybody says. You can't be the undisputed era and not walk away with no gold.
Right.
They ruined NXT with that. They ruined that night for me too. I'm like, gosh, you can't say we're going to be drinking. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like they're undisputed and they're the. Anyways. But I don't like no Jose. I don't like.
I understand that.
Get out the. He's a good wrestler. I think the coming out in the conga line nonsense. It's the Adam Rose thing. It's exactly what it is. He'll never get over.
Would you rather
ever?
Would you rather see forget no Jose? Would you rather see matches like Bobby Roode or Robert Roode against Eric Young, or would you want to see the Viking Ratings show their strength against a local?
I hate the squashes with the Viking Ratings. I hate that.
So of the truth, you'd rather have undercard guys.
Definitely. I'll take that all day long. Yeah.
Sometimes you want to make sure you want to protect guys from L's, but you don't have an L all the time.
That's true.
Like Heath Slater, I can't tell his last match he's won, but at the same time, you don't want
WrestleMania.
Right. Yeah. That's pretty much it.
But after that, before that, it was a huge gap.
It was a huge gap.
I've always thought, why not have undercard? I like with the Viking Raiders. Why not have the Ascension? I mean, they're not doing anything.
Yeah. Why not?
And it would look
I don't know
better.
what brand they are.
If they're gonna lose, because they're gonna lose, put them against former two-time NXT Tag Team Champions,
the former WWE champion,
and it would just visually look more impressive.
Oh God, yeah.
Then when you see these two guys that aren't gonna do anything,
and like I said, I'm always at a mindset. If anybody knows how wrestling really works, that's a huge moment for those young men. That them getting into that ring. They're local wrestlers from such and such area. That's a big deal for them. So I'm not trying to diminish what they're doing.
Oh, of course.
It just doesn't look good aesthetically.
Yeah.
When it happens every week, too. Because it's been, 4 weeks now that they've beat up
at least 4 weeks, if not more.
At this point, it's not interesting. And I love the Viking Raiders.
So do I.
Yeah.
I love them, but...
Crowd is not like this either, by the way.
Yeah.
The crowd's quiet, man. They're quiet.
Yeah, because they look like a bunch of hoss. The thing about the Viking or the War Raiders was that they had chemistry with teams, and they made the best of the teams. They were fast, they were strong, they were able to make things work. When you have people you don't know what they're about, and you're just flinging them around, I always go back to Lord Tensai. That's my example.
Mm-hmm.
All right, he's big and he's powerful, but the stakes are so low. You're kind of like, well, you're just playing the game on easy. I can't get into that. You know what I'm saying? Go to the Takeover New York. Ricochet and Aleister Black, they won that match. They got a standing ovation, and they got the whole
That match was unbelievable.
We're almost out of time, but I just want real quick thoughts about the new Dolph Ziggler losing to Goldberg last night, getting Skull Crush finale by The Miz. Do you think there's any upside for Dolph? Is he just going to take those L's because he's Dolph Ziggler?
Unbelievable, man. Poor Dolph.
Poor Dolph.
To the bookings credit, I said before, I don't think Dolph Ziggler's ever going to be more or less over than he is now.
I think that's a fair point.
He's going to be who he is. I love Dolph Ziggler. I think, and I'm hoping that they're going to try to turn him face somehow out of this as a guy who just keeps on coming. I don't know.
Oh, okay, I see that. Okay, I can see that.
Maybe if he does this same kind of thing against a heel going forward, then we might go, oh yeah, he's fighting through it. But of course, I don't know.
It's about I don't know how you feel about a guy. He's making a whole bunch of money, doing a whole bunch of things. He has the most one of his most ideal contracts. He got the contract that he wanted. So how bad can I feel for him? I don't know. It just looks bad because he's such a talent.
Yeah.
You can call him whatever you want to call him. You can call him Diet Shawn Michaels if you want, but he's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Diet Shawn Michaels is still
I'd take
pretty
it.
refreshing.
If I was a Diet Shawn Michaels, I'd be happy.
I'd take it, bro. I just know people act like that's a knock. I go, you say so. I'll take it.
We're out of time, but I want to thank you so much for tuning in to the Monday Night Raw After Show. Before we get out of here, where can the world find you, Jack, on the interwebs and all that jazz?
Yeah, you can find me at jackcfarmer.com if you're looking for a DJ host or MC. You can also find me on social media at RealJackFarmer. I have fired up my Twitter account again, so go ahead and hit me there if you want to go ahead and chat. I love going back and forth with everyone, so find me there.
Perfect 10.
Evan T. Mack. So sorry. Evan T. Mack is the grand man Twitter, man. Shout out to mine. Shout out to Jay Will. What's really good, everybody in the chat room?
Yeah. Flobo Boyce, at Flobo Boyce on Twitter, at Flobito on Instagram and Flobito.com. This Saturday, Greenwich Comedy Club, New York City. We're doing the comedy thing. Come on out, support your homeboy. Details
I see you, boy.
at Flobito.com. And until next time, buzz you later.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.